I always assumed it would just happen. I mean, that's what people say, isn't it? You just know. I used to disagree. And I thought it was pointless dating. Why waste your time in some silly mating ritual, polite conversation, dinner and drinks? When what it really boils down to is, will I shag you or not?
I just remember when I was single, I used to sort of go to clubs because that's kind of what my friends were doing.
We were dancing to a bit of R&B. I saw him, he saw me. I think we were a bit drunk, actually.
It was Christmas Eve. It was pouring with rain. We were in Leicester Square.
Guy I'd already written off caught me at a weak moment.
At school, I was always the one that had boyfriends. I mean, not just ridiculous boyfriends, like serious proper boyfriends.
16, hormones really set in, and yeah, I did start going out with someone, and I thought it was love. And I've dated 87 guys trying to find him, and I'm starting to get just a little bit irritated.
I remember looking around and seeing guys with Ben Sherman shirts and loafers, and I just remember thinking, I'm never going to find anyone.
Walked across the room to him because he wasn't coming towards me, and basically just talked at him.
From that first kiss, it was like a light had come on.
I remember walking through Leicester Square, looking up at the lights, and he kissed me.
For a long time, until he brought me a drink, and it went from there, really.
I couldn't move. I was bedazzled by him.
You know, who have you met this week? Who have you met this week? As though I'm just some kind of circus clown.
It took me 10 months before I got my man.
It is exactly 87 guys. I have a list. I like to be organised about this sort of thing.
Completely taken in. And he became my world.
But hey, your first love is always a bit, wishy-washy. No, that's not true. It's always the strongest one, isn't it? That's what they say.
It was worth it in the end, just because I think we were best friends before we were actually a couple.
I used to have a recurring dream where I was walking up the aisle and I was getting married, and it was always to someone who was faceless. I could never see the face. And I remember I was trying to say that I didn't want to get married, and I remember in the dream I look at my mum and I'm like, I really don't want to do this, but I can't get the words out. And I'm walking up the aisle and I get to the very top, and I turn around and I say it to my dad, and he goes, well, you can't do it now because we paid for the wedding. So I go through with it, but that dream, I wake up in a hot sweat, and it's suffocating sometimes. So that's what I used to have.
I've always been very sceptical and cynical about the concept of the one, love. I always thought it was something fabricated, confused with something else. Love doesn't exist. We think that love exists. We want to feel a sense of self-value, or we confuse it with lust.
Oh God, yeah, all the time. This is the most annoying thing with your girlfriends when they have guys, because all of a sudden, we can't do girl nights anymore. You know, it's always, oh, I've got to go home to my boyfriend. Great, that's really good fun.
What, would you get some sort of letter to say, I'm sorry, your one has died in some tragic accident, so, yeah, I'm afraid you haven't got one, so you're going to have to do without. It's not plausible just to have one person for everyone.
And I think that's what everyone forgets. I think when you get into a couple sometimes, it's like, no one else can have fun because you're in a couple. And I think they just are trying to make me feel bad because I'm still going out there every night.
I'm currently going out with someone. I went out with them, I'm going out with them for 2 years now. And I've never been more attracted to other guys than when I'm with, the supposed one who I'm supposed to be with.
Like, I was always scared of being codependent. I hated the idea of being dependent on someone, needing someone as a pillar to support you. I think it can be dangerous, it can get unhealthy if you aren't your own person and pursue your own things.
I just think we're brainwashed. Sex and the City by Friends and Ellen. That phrase is so American as well, the one.
I am having a good time. It's so nice. It's great meeting new people. Yeah, there are nights when it's raining outside and you wish you were cuddling up to someone, but I mean, it's not bad, is it? It's supposed to be pleasurable.
Somebody that I can be romantic with and sensible with. Somebody that will
jump in that huge pile of leaves in the park that the park attendant has just spent the last hour carefully raking up. Someone that'll take me dancing, take me for a picnic in the park, go and see the fish at the London Aquarium. Someone that I can go for a walk with in the rain and make out under a tree. I do not want somebody who will get stroppy because his nice suit is getting ruined by the damp grass.
I invariably knew the answer to this straight away, so that decision made, I'd either take him home or move on to the next one. For years, that's how I viewed my relationships, purely casual. And it worked.
I did have all this until quite recently. He wasn't the one, but he was someone. But it didn't work out, as we both wanted very, very different things for our futures. He wasn't the one, but he was the closest thing that I have ever come to finding him.
Question is, will I ever meet the one? Perhaps I should try dating the next one. Perhaps the next one shouldn't be some shadowy silhouette. I'll start with the eyes, over dinner. Take it from there.
My mum said to me, she said, just find someone that you can sort of have some fun with, there to be around.
Well, if I had to describe the person, good looking.
I'm not really somebody who's had a checklist. Tall is always in my checklist.
Oh, the books, yeah, books, definitely. Oh, yeah, I'd love to meet somebody in a library. No, not Milton Boone. More The Great Gatsby or something like that.
I like the idea of an open mind. So, yeah, strong morals definitely is attractive.
Sense of humour would be great. I think that's the most attractive thing, really, a sense of humour.
Quirky man, that's on my checklist, definitely. Don't want to go for the out-and-out beauty, I have to say.
Slim, successful, kind.
Foreign person. Oh, yeah, definitely. Definitely.
And I like a good firm arse too. But I'm only human.
When I think of him, I just go,